So as I mentioned, with me in studio is James Nyoro, and he is a food security expert. You'll see him shortly as he's revealed from that camera. He's also a running mate in the Kiambu gubernatorial race. Waititu Ferdinand is a flag bearer. So a lot about Unga we'll talk about in this hour, but also a little bit perhaps on politics. So do stay with us for that discussion. So that is our top story this morning, and we're also looking at the NASA rally in Kisii, and we will be covering the details of the same for you. We have our Rashid Ronald, who is in Kisii for us, so as soon as the events there start picking up, we will bring you pictures from the same. So before we get into the stories that we're focusing on today, let's actually get into this, what has spiraled from a maize scandal, Mheshimiwa, allow me, to now cheap unga, relief and reprieve for many. But how did we get here? I read your article today in The Standard that this was something that was seen coming. It was not a surprise. The government wasn't caught pants down. It was seen a long way coming. But yet, here we were with a crisis. How did that happen?
It's great to be here. If you recall, end of 2015, the short rains were not very good. When you don't get good short rains, it means the harvest that came in about February of 2016 was not good. We expect mainly about 6 to 8 million bags for the short rains across the country, but mainly coming from eastern part and the coast. So there was total crop failure. If you remember, a few days ago, we were even talking about places like Kirifi and Kware not having gotten rain for the last 24 months or so. And therefore, we started off with a bad short rains harvest. Then remember, the 2016 long rains delayed. They came in quickly and they left very quickly. And therefore, the harvest for 2016, that is end of last year now, was not that good. Instead of getting about 37 million bags, we got about 34, 33. The figures can be whatever. There was a shortfall. So we are coming from a poor short rain harvest, a bad long rain harvest, and now we enter into 2017. The short rains for 2016 coming to 2017 were very bad, remember. It was predicted to be a La Nina. So the harvest for February, again, was not there. So what we've seen is over the last 24 months, we've seen a reduction in production. But remember, the consumption continues to rise because our consumption increases at the rate of 1 million bags every year. So between 2015 and now, we had a consumption of an increase of 2 million bags. So that obviously precipitated into the situation that we were in, that as we were entering 2017, we knew very well that we are depleting our stocks. Indications were that by April 1, or just about that, we would probably be needing imports.
Yeah. So who dropped the ball, sir? Because you're saying it was clear production was going down. We needed more. Population was still consuming. And yet, on the other hand, we were seeing exports on the rise. So isn't that a contradiction in terms of reading what is happening in the situation?
No, I think there is a misconception here.
Right.
When you say exports, that means you have shipload of maize from Mombasa shipping to wherever. Southern Africa, by the way, had a drought last year. And when I mean Southern Africa, is all the way from South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Malawi. They had a big drought last year. And what was happening, because Tanzania has a funny climate, which is southern part and northern part, Tanzanian maize was going down to South Africa. Now, when you say exports, it implies that people are shipping the maize outside the country. That's not the situation. When we say export, we are saying we are in COMESA. We have a very porous border. Our maize normally goes through Uganda to southern Sudan, which has been having a crisis. We get a lot of maize from Tanzania, informal and formal export, because we are in COMESA. So the export you are talking about, the 3-point-something million tons that you are talking about export, are actually within the region. It is not that somebody exported to Malawi, Burkina Faso, or wherever.
But that notwithstanding, the question still stands that at the end of the day, you have a declining production, you have consumption that's going up, and then even within the COMESA region that you're talking about, it's still leaving where it is most needed. And we'll continue with that discussion even as we talk more about the irrigation schemes that are in place. But allow me to engage our Mark Namaswa, who I understand is attending a function where millers are set to address the press on what has been unfolding. Mark, what can you tell us?
Okay, currently now, Sophia, we are following up on a story concerning millers. Apparently, there are two groups of millers. There are large-scale millers and small-scale millers. Now, yesterday when you attended the presser by Agriculture CS Willie Bett, we had an interaction with some of the millers, and we were told that there were two groups of millers, large-scale and small-scale. Now, small-scale millers claim that they control about 65% of the market share in the country, while large-scale millers were about 35%. But small-scale millers claim that at the moment the shipment, the allocation, they were given the reverse. That is, they were given 40% instead of the 60 to 65% that they claim to control in the market share. So the intrigues right now concern the allocation of that shipment. Again, we have some insider information to the effect that already the large-scale millers got some of the maize last week. That is why that might probably account for the presence of maize, maize flour that is already on the shelves in supermarkets when we did rounds this morning in the CBD, that is still selling at 90 shillings per 2 kg package and 47 shillings per 1 kg package. So at the moment, we are following up on a story with the small-scale millers who are currently congregating at the Railways Club before they head to Kilimo House to have further discussions with the Ministry of Agriculture officials. Sophia.
All right, Mark Namaswa, thank you for that. We will be getting back to you as you follow that story on the millers. Nyoro, what do you make of what you're hearing from our reporter there?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with Kenya is that there's politics on everything. I am not very sure about the figures that he's quoting, who gets what. But let me tell you, where you have a situation like the one that we had, you don't go getting every single miller in every village and very quickly drop the price to 90 shillings. You start with the big millers because those are the big suppliers of large supermarkets and wholesale shops. I think the situation as was yesterday to talk to the big millers and allocate them some maize was the right one. I think we also have to remember that generally maize price has been reduced to 2,300 shillings. And that is important because who eats shifted maize meal? It's you and me. It's people like you and me. The people living in Mathare, in Kibera, and the rural areas eat posho. They take their maize to a mill, hammer mill, and then they do posho. Now, the question is, since they are not getting the 2 kilo for 90, how do they continue to get cheap maize meal? And that is where now the price has come down. The government must make sure that maize is available, not maize meal. Maize is available to those smaller millers and the posho millers so that at least they are able to make that available to the poor.
Okay.
Because I think our concern here is not the rich. The rich can even buy Unga at 200 shillings per 2 kilo pack.
Right.
The problem is the poor. The poor spends about 70% of their income on food, and half of that is on Unga. So essentially, I think, and probably the CS will address this, the point really for the small-scale millers is to make sure that maize is available in all the markets at 2,300 or below 2,500. Okay. And that will sort out the problem that the small-scale millers are talking about.
All right, and we'll continue with this conversation about cheaper maize and just how did Kenya get to where she is now in as far as the food insecurity